We heard it in 2020, revenge travel. But what is it? It sounds like a term that one would describe in the same way they might describe getting back at someone, but in reality, it's the post-pandemic travel trend. According to MarketWatch, revenge travel became a popular way to describe consumers dusting off their itineraries shelved by the pandemic. However, 2022 is poised to be an even more significant payback to those dog days of 2020. The idea behind revenge travel is people taking vengeance against the time they've lost during the long period when they weren't able to or allowed to go on vacations. Now, the trend is coming back twice as hard for travel during the summer of 2022. Remember in March 2020, when the world underwent an unprecedented change? It's not overly dramatic to say that everyone had a new lease on life and a new appreciation for what they could do before the pandemic. However, when freedoms are lost, like the ability to travel, the dichotomy behind our travel begins to change. It happened when the airports shut down, hotels were closed, streets were empty, and the anticipation, anxiety, and the waiting began. For over a year, people cancelled travel plans or put them on hold, hoping the postponement would be temporary, but it wasn't. Thus, the rise of revenge travel. Taking revenge against the pandemic that affected every traveler's life so unexpectedly in the first place. That's because travel and all its incidental spending are back, according to new MasterCard findings, perhaps a surprise for some during decades-high inflation. According to Money Control, many underwent a type of lockdown fatigue. It's said that this type of mental fatigue is only exacerbated by the monotony of being stuck at home or repeatedly going through the same motions. So, after more than a year of mundane routines involving little more than leaving the house for groceries, it was only expected that a release of sorts was coming. Unfortunately, the effect, or instead, the consequence, of this was revenge travel. In an attempt to gain back lost time taken during the pandemic, many people booked trips, flights, and bucket list destinations as soon as the world began reopening. While this did lead to a spike in cases, one crucial aspect of revenge is this: vengeance, even in travel, often overshadows all other worries or fears. That said, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for revenge travel to remain a valid reason for planning a vacation. Think about it, the entire world was shut down, and that's a lot of people, which means a lot of desperation when it comes to taking that ultimate bucket list trip. So, it might take years before the world finally sees the end of people needing to replace the time they lost with a journey twice its original size and extravagance. According to MarketWatch, 1.5 billion more passengers are flying internationally this year than in 2021. Although the cost of living has increased in most places, according to MarketWatch, it has not slowed travelers' ability to spend money while on vacation. In fact, studies are showing that travelers spend about 34% more on activities and souvenirs when they travel. Additionally, more than half of all revenge travelers following the pandemic have booked vacations to places they have never been before, meaning that new and bucket list destinations are topping the list. Interestingly, not every trip is international, with many people just wanting to visit a new place. The projection includes approximately 365 million more people in the US, Canada, and Mexico who are likely to take to the skies this year compared to last year, MasterCard added. In April, people paid an average of $358 for a US domestic trip, a 41% year-over-year increase, and $865 for an international flight, a 22% rise, according to Hopper. Around 30% say they are getting ready to spend more this summer. 22% say it will be at least $1,000 more than their typical budget, according to a recent Credit Karma survey. The angst travelers have experienced while planning a revenge travel trip will likely continue for some time. As a result, it can be hypothesized that the tourism industry will continue to grow and reflect this overall increase in traveling to make up for the lost time. So, have you planned your revenge trip?
Where will you go?
That's all for this time. Have a great weekend ahead.